with Rudy Van Ness from Yauta and Tom Floor from Trident Trikes. This is Gary Solomon, and we're at the Nashville Fairgrounds Raceway for the 2018 Recumbent Cycle-Con. Guys, you ready? Let's go! All right, we're here with Tim Brummer of Lightning Cycles, and Tim, how are you doing?
Just great. Yeah, had a nice drive in here.
Yeah, a nice long one. I understand from California.
California, drove all the way.
Well, let's talk about what you brought here. Let's start with the Phantom here. Tell us a little bit about the new Phantom, what you have.
Yeah, we've made a lot of very nice improvements. The biggest thing on our entire line of bikes, they all have hydraulic disc brakes now.
Okay.
Made by Shimano. They're the best brakes I've ever used. They really stop. Yeah, you don't have to pull very hard to stop the bike. And then also the tires, we've gone with wider tires with more tread. You can ride on gravel. Brand new shiny paint job. Those are nice. And then we've got a new tilt mechanism.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Right here. So it locks differently. It kind of operates the same, but it locks down internally. There's nothing exposed, so it's a lot more secure and stays clean.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's really good. So a lot of upgrades for the Phantom, and you have a special, I think, going on this.
Oh, absolutely, yes. For the next month, people order, you get 10% off.
Okay, Tim, and now the venerable P38. What's new with the P38?
A couple of new things, like I mentioned before. We have the hydraulic disc brakes. These are Shimano Dior XT. Very nice. They'll last forever. Also, we have a new carbon front fork. All the P38s. Saves a little bit of weight and improves the ride, improves the looks, people say. And of course, comes in a dozen different colors. Standard, your choice.
This bike seems to have a lack of paint.
Yes.
What is this all about?
It's just totally all brand new, and we just finished putting it together, test riding it. It rides really good. Totally new idea. It's a Gates carbon belt drive with a roll-off 14-speed internal hub. I haven't seen anything else like this on the market. So if you want a belt drive internal hub, you have to come to Lightning, I think. But it rides great, and it's very quiet, maintenance-free, no grease on your legs.
Is it available? I mean, you can put this together right now. So
yeah, right.
Tell me about the advantage of the belt drive.
Well, basically it's maintenance-free, where there's no oiling, doesn't wear out. You don't have to replace cogs and derailleurs and all that. So it costs more initially, but in the long run, it's going to be cheaper actually. And it's quiet. It's just a nicer ride. One more feature on here is we're making some the lowrider pannier racks, lowrider racks for panniers. You can see underneath the seat, and that'll fit on any P38.
Okay, Tim, now we're talking carbon fiber here. What do we have?
Well, this is our latest mid-racer design, and it's on our carbon RD4 frame. Everything here we make in the USA. The seat, the frame, the rear wheel. These are actually covers on a spoke wheel. But the crankset, see our carbon cranks up here, it's all made in the USA in-house. And this mid-racer seat, it'll fit on any of our models. You can put it on the Phantom, you can put it on the P38 and turn it into a mid-racer. On a Phantom, it makes a pretty affordable, very fast bike. Rear suspension, nobody else has. This goes up and down. It's kind of hard to see. It's about 3/4 inch travel, but especially with a seat like this, where it's back over the back wheel, it makes a big difference. This is also very light. This is about 22 pounds.
Okay.
So not only is it fast on the flats, but it climbs great too.
Tim, okay, what is this fabriced bike here?
It's I haven't even figured out a name yet. It's so new, but it's about 3/4 of a F40 fairing. So you get a lot of the performance benefits. It's basically almost as fast as a Velomobile, but the fairing only weighs 4 pounds. So it doesn't slow you down on the hills. You climb, as good as any other recumbent.
What is the underlying bike here?
This is my personal RD4 that I'm using to test out the new fairing. But this fairing will fit on the Phantom, the P38, RD4, any one of our bikes. So for $800, you can get Velomobile performance.
Okay, very good. Hey, thanks a lot, Tim.
Okay, I'll take off here.
What?
I'll take off.
Okay. We are here with a patron sponsor of the Laidback Bike Report here at Recumbent Cycle-Con. It's Dave Hendricks at Connecticut Yankee Peddler.
Singular, you got it.
In Iowa, folks, and that does make sense if you know his shop. So, Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Gary. It's good to be here at Recumbent Cycle-Con.
It's great to see you again. So, tell me what's up. What's going on at Connecticut Yankee Peddler?
Well, I tell you what, we've got 10 brands of Trikes, Recumbent Trikes, and over 24 models. And I think I'm going to sign with another one over here. We got some new stuff coming along, and I will keep that a little bit of a secret, but people can chat with me saying, hey, what'd you see at the show? Yeah, give me a call.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you myself, what was the most interesting thing you've seen so far? But maybe we better not talk. What was the second most interesting thing that you've seen that you're not bringing into your shop?
Am I bringing into the shop? I don't know, electric stuff. Electric is in. And we've picked up Falco, and we need to bring that in for 2019. We'll be getting some product in. So the second most, I know Falco won't like that. But no, it's a cool thing. Electric motors are cool. We've got, 4 or 5 different brands of electric motors.
Who did you bring with you to the show to help you out this year?
Well, it's kind of a Hendricks clan, and so I've got Josh with me, and I've got Jordan with me here.
Josh?
Hi, how are you?
Jordan?
How doing?
Those are the boys, and which I'm sure they're great help to you, and they're kind of integrated, right?
Well, in fact, you know what one of my customers says? He says, Dave, those boys really make you look good. So,
and for you guys, then it's pretty much all about making Dad look good?
Oh, yeah. That's correct.
I just want to thank everybody for all the customers that are out there in Iowa and surrounding states who have patronized us, and I really appreciate that, coming to a small town Sheraton, Iowa.
All right, that sounds great. Connecticut Yankee Peddler, check them out, folks. We're here with Rolf and Barb Garthis of the Hostel shop. Guys, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Great.
Good. Yeah.
Hi.
All right, nice to see you. All right, so we are going to talk a little bit about what's going on lately at the Hostel shop. Rolf, give us a little update. What's going on at the Hostel shop?
Well, we're starting to do a lot of videos, which I think you and I were talking about earlier. It turns out that the things that I wind up telling people over and over and over again on the sales floor, I realize it'd be a good thing to do a video on those things. So that's what we've started doing, and so far I think it's been pretty well received.
This is up on a YouTube channel?
It is on our YouTube channel, and some of them are instructional, and some of them are more product oriented, and some of them are sort of half and half.
Okay, and that's so your YouTube channel is the Hostel Shop, I think is what the name of the channel is as well. Is that right?
I think that's right.
You had a good rally, I understand. How did that go? What was that about?
It went very well. It's we had a good number of people. The weather cooperated again, so.
And that was the Midwest Recumbent Rally, is what you guys call that.
That is correct.
We've attended. It's a great rally, so I'm sure you guys will do it again next year.
We'll be seeing about that.
Okay. There you have it. Definitive, we don't know. All right. So thanks so much, Ralph and Barb, and the Hostel Shop, guys.
Thank you.
We're here with Ron Blackman from Easy Street Recumbents, and Ron's going to tell us a little bit about some new developments down there in Texas and what's going on. So, Ron, how are you?
Doing good. Enjoying myself.
That's
First
great.
time out on one of these, so it's great.
Recumbent Cycle-Con is awesome,
Right.
isn't it?
It is.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Easy Street Recumbents. There's some new developments going on. What's happening there?
Well, Mike has opened the second store in Keller, Texas, which, for those of you who don't know the area, is in Fort Worth, and it's there. And Mike is up there, and he's running that shop. It's doing really well. It opened up officially in May, and we're doing everything there. It's real close to a bike trail, so people actually get to ride on the trail. We're also moving a lot of, kind of splitting the inventory back and forth. All the AZUB stuff is now in Keller, and all the ice trikes are down there, but everything else we kind of have in both stores.
Okay. And so running two stores is very different than just running one store, right? So tell us how that's affected the whole operation.
Well, the first thing that's done is we're only open 4 days a week now, and we kind of overlap that a little bit, but Mike goes back and forth between two stores.
I understand you guys have run an event that's been very popular in that area for quite some time. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right, the Heart of Texas Recumbent Rally. Mike didn't do it this year because he, of course, opened a new store, a lot of time, a lot of effort, but they're planning it in March, the first weekend in March of 2019, and it's going to be at the new Keller location up there in the Fort Worth area.
And I wanted to mention, of course, that Mike has offered to be a patron sponsor and is a patron sponsor of the Laidback Bike Report here at Recumbent Cycle-Con. So I wanted to thank you guys a lot for supporting us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, thanks. Hey folks, we are with Mel Berger, the owner, operator, and chief honcho at Recumbent PDX. So what is it exactly that you do at Recumbent PDX?
We sell recumbent trikes. So we are I make the claim every day, I believe it's true, that we are the largest recumbent trike shop west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
So we have over 30 recumbent trikes, demo trikes, on our showroom floor. We have every single model of Catrike, every single model of AZUB, every single model of HP Velotechnik, as well as Greenspeed and Sun, and we have it in every possible variety. We have roll-off speed hubs, we have schlumps, we have pinions, we have DI2, we have adaptive, we have electric, we have steps. Any combination that you would want to ride in an actual bike we have as a demo, because our attitude is you should be riding the exact bike you're going to be buying on a demo ride so that you know exactly what you get when you buy. And for a lot of our customers, they have injuries, disease, illnesses. A lot of them are age correlated that have knocked them off of bicycles. And so what we tell people is bicycling is pure joy, and our job is to eliminate whatever barriers stand between you and joy.
That sounds great. And what brings me joy is the fact that Recumbent PDX has been a patron sponsor of the Recumbent Cycle-Con 2018 video for the Laidback Bike Report the last couple of years. And Mel, we really want to thank you for your support.
Our pleasure. We enjoy patronizing Gary.
Right. Mel, thank you so much. This is Dana Lieberman. Hello, Dana.
Hi, Gary. How are you? Gary, right? Yes, Gary.
Yes, that's what it says there.
Okay.
Dana, of course, has been on the Laidback Bike Report a number of times.
Yes.
Dana also is an owner of Bent Up Cycles in Hollywood, California.
Shop. Yes, that is the shop.
So what we're here for, there's a couple of things.
What are we here for?
First of all, here to thank you for supporting the Laidback Bike Report. At Recumbent Cycle-Con this year. We really appreciate being
pleasure.
the patron sponsor, and also to talk about Bent Up Cycles. So tell us, what is going on with Bent Up Cycles?
This last year, we made some major changes. I am now appointment only, and I have to say it's amazing. I've spent 15 years in this business. I really like working with people, and being able to work one-on-one, not worrying about any interruptions. I don't answer the phone, I don't answer the door. It really allows me to get to know somebody, know what kind of riding they're going to be doing, and then put them on the right bike.
All right. So if I am looking to talk to you about a trike or a recumbent bike, how do I go about doing this appointment thing?
Well, I have an appointment calendar on my website. You can go in, I don't even have to see you. You can just make an appointment online, or you can give me a call.
In terms of products, tell us what sorts of things you sell there.
Sure. So I have been an HP Velotechnik dealer for about 15 years now. I've been a Catrike dealer for, about the same 15 years now. And I do a lot of Bacchetta for about, 15 years now. ICE is a newcomer. It's only been about 14 years with them.
Right.
But those are the big brands that I sell. I also build my own bikes.
And what are those called?
That's the Recumbent HPV brand. And those are built by me in-house, one at a time, to the specifications of the customer.
What do you love most about what you do?
You know, you and I are of that age where we grew up on bicycles. And if we wanted to get around, we rode our bikes. And so for us, that was that first real sense of freedom. So I get people that come into the shop now, and for whatever reason, they can't ride a bike anymore. Maybe it's numb body parts, maybe it's a bad back, whatever. So to be able to put people back in that position, cycling really gives us that sense of freedom. Be able to give that back to somebody is it's magical.
Yeah.
I mean, I pride myself on knowing that I don't have bikes hanging in garages. People are actually out there riding them.
Yeah. This is what you're after. That's what we're all after, I think. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Dan Lieberman, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Gary.
All right, let's get this right there.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. What is your name?
John G., also known as Gizmo.
Gizmo, yeah, I've heard of you. You're on Bent Rider, aren't you?
I break your chops every now and then.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm blocking you, man. Anyways, what are you riding here?
This is the Bacchetta distributed Pelso carbon bent frame, and it is a dream.
Yeah, I could see that smile on your face.
An absolute dream. I mean, you can't help it.
Tell me your thoughts. And you've ridden a few laps here. What are you thinking about?
I've ridden a bunch of their standard stick bikes. I own a double 26 Giro now, and I'm a short guy, 5'8". I just barely fit that. The bent frame here makes an enormous difference. I can get a flat foot down anytime I wish. The recline is tolerable, and I'm not generally a reclined rider. But the handling is a dream. It does anything you ask of it. And if you haven't ridden it, please do. And if you missed the carbon trike, you have mixed the next thing best to God.
We're going to get that too. So, all right, Gizmo, you can go. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Varney. Hey, Larry.
Becoming an expert on e-assist.
Yeah, you are now. What are you riding here?
Well, this is the Falco e-assist, and one thing that is different from others that I've seen, several have pedal assist as you pedal, it assists. This one also has a little throttle lever, so if you don't feel like pedaling, you still go fast. It's got several different levels of assist, It feels nice and smooth and fast, and I like the idea of having the option of either pedaling or not. So for people who, for whatever reason they can't pedal, they're not going to be stranded out somewhere. I have always advised people go ahead and keep pedaling because that's where you get the exercise. But if something happens and you can't, you can just hit that little lever and bingo.
Away you go. I guess that's what we're going to do now.
For anybody considering e-assist, this is definitely one to think about.
All right, let's see you peel on out of here, Larry. Thanks.
We'll see ya.
Okay, good evening, everyone. If you would like to observe our proceedings, you can make your way up towards the front and stand where you can see. One of the big reasons we're here tonight is to honor one of our own. Every year, since the first show, we've had a Recumbent Industry Recognition Award. Some may have heard or seen it on the Laidback Bike Report that this year's awardee is a young gentleman named Bryan J. Ball. Bryan, would you come up here, please?
Thank you so much for this. It was I was surprised. Like he said, he surprised this to me live on the internet, and I was not expecting it. I am truly honored and humbled by this. I know that I have a reputation amongst you guys who know me over the last 20 years of being a bit sarcastic or irreverent. But thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. I'm going to fashion it into some sort of medallion and wear it around the night when we go out. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you again.
Well, we're here with Ian Sims all the way from Australia. Ian, nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Very good. And you've brought a few trikes here at Cycle-Con to show. We have something special and a bit new this year. What do we have right here?
We have the X7 here. Last year we had a prototype. This year we have our production model, so they're available to buy now. This is our new sports trike. A lot of people seem to think that small wheels are just for kids, but we have found not only do they have a lower rolling resistance, but they have less inertia, so you get up to speed a lot quicker, and it makes it a very nimble trike. And a lot of people think, oh, this is going to be slow, but in actual fact, here at the back we have a cassette which goes from 9 teeth to 28 teeth, and at the front we have a chain set, crank set, which goes from 56 in top down to 30 in bottom. So in other words, with this you have really high gearing, plus you have the light weight, and it's also a folding trike, so this makes it very compact. You can get this into a boot of a car or trunk of a car without any problem.
Okay, so last year prototype, now available. What kind of price range are we talking about for this?
We're looking at 3.5 for this.
Okay, that's great. So here is the Magnum. Can you tell us a little bit about this machine?
Yes, this is the Magnum BW, or Magnum Big Wheel. This is a very versatile machine. It's suitable for both on-road use and off-road use. Plus at the back we have an arrangement so that we can use either 26-inch wheels in this, 29-inch wheels, even 24x4. Plus we can use the Copenhagen wheel, which means just taking one wheel out, putting another one in, then we have an electric trike.
Okay. And then also a feature on the front wheels.
Yes. This is a very popular feature. We have what we call pop-off quick release wheels, so you can just simply take the front wheel off at the push of a button. The other feature of this trike is that it has this curved cross member. So it enables you to get much closer to the seat, and enables you to easily get in and out of the trike. Another feature of this trike is that we have this specially designed main tube, which is rectangular in section so that it holds the cranks in very easily for adjustment, keeps it in perfect alignment. Plus it's a lot stiffer than the round tube so that when you're pressing on the cranks there's no deflection.
This trike then is aimed for what sort of buyer?
This is aimed particularly for people that want a strong trike. So this will take riders up to 400 pounds, and for guys say 300 pounds, then it's a very strong trike. So it's ideal for touring or for off-road use or on-road use.
Very flexible, very robust. That's great. Okay, and what about this hot little red number? What is this?
This is our GT20 RS. This is virtually our GT20, which we've had for a little while, except that we've uprated it. So instead of having just 24 speeds, we've got 27 speeds with this. So we've got a wider range of gears. Plus, what we find is that although our trikes have a fair amount of passive suspension, both in the seat, the frame and the tyres, we also find that some people like more suspension. So with this trike, virtually where your head is, there's suspension. So only having rear suspension makes a big difference.
Okay, so comfortable ride in. Looks relatively fast as well, not too heavy, right?
That's right. This is a lightweight trike. The rear hub, the front hubs, for example, have been reduced in size and weight, as have the kingpins, so it makes it quite a light trike. Plus we've got the normal features of the GT20, which are the curved cross member to make it easier to get into, and the rectangular section main tube, which keeps the cranks in alignment and makes a stiffer trike, so there's less losses in power when you're pedalling.
Very good. A nice sample of trikes, of the many trikes that Ian has brought here to Cycle-Con, and I wanted to especially thank Ian once again for supporting the Laidback Bike Report as a patron sponsor again this year. You're always a great supporter of the show. We appreciate it, Ian.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are here with Jim and Lane Snyder from Ride South, and welcome to the show.
Oh, we're glad to be here. This is our, we've been here to all of them, so we love to be here in the South.
Yeah, and Lane, you accompany Jim every time, don't you?
Well, this is really my first trip to the Recumbent Con. I usually stay home and keep the shop open. But I had to come this time, so this is...
Well, so that begs the question, who's watching the shop right now?
It's closed for now, so we've actually seen some of our customers here.
Tell us what you guys do at Ride South, and what specialties do you engage in?
Well, it's Ride South Recumbents, LLC, so that should tell you we are definitely into recumbents, have been since day one, which is 20 years ago this year. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Wow, okay.
And we carry most of the trikes and bikes you see here. And we ride them ourselves and have events, and love the show. Love the work that you do here, too, by the way.
Thank you, Jim. So now let's talk a little bit more about events, because from what I understand, you're known for this. What kinds of events do you put on?
Well, we've had a rally. We've had what we call a trikorama. We have Natchez or Bust. We have a signature ride. We go Hattiesburg for lunch. There's a number of things, and plus our bread ride every Saturday morning.
Tell us where Ride South is.
Well, we're in Mississippi, near Jackson, in the South, and we lobbied to have this event in the South, and we're very much appreciative of it being here.
Yeah, and not only that, we just found out last night it's going to be here in Nashville again next year.
Awesome, awesome, and we say that this Ride South is, of course, our name, and that's the way to ride.
Finally, I just want to thank Jim and Lane very much for sponsoring the Laidback Bike Report here at Cycle-Con this year. We appreciate the patron sponsorship that you've given us and supporting us on everything that we do here. Thanks a lot, Jim, Lane.
Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thanks a lot. We're here with Rob Gentry at the Performer booth, and Rob has a couple of very unique items that he's going to talk about today, starting with this Metabike. Rob, how you doing, first of all?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks, Gary.
It's good to see you here.
Good to see you again.
Tell us about the Metabike and what's up with it.
Well, Metabike, we just started another production of it. So we made a few changes. It's back in Taiwan being manufactured. We did it to the same place where Performers are made because they do high-end uprights. They do the high-end bikes. They're used to the quality stuff. I mean, Performers are great. They're mid-level, entry-level pricing, but this guy, we wanted something sharp. We wanted a high racer that people will notice.
Tell us about some of the features. Can you go over the bike for us?
We just really wanted to make it kind of bring it all down, boil it down to having this is a good road bike. And we'll have it in a form that people can ride fast. I mean, it's a nice angle. It's good chain line, probably the best chain line I've ever seen. Least resistance. And we needed a few different features. And one of them is on this handlebar, you see the stem and how this comes up on the stem. And that tiller used to be, if you wanted to change handlebars, it was a whole take this out, put another tripod piece in, and we made it so all of this is the same on all the bikes. You just whip it around. So all the Meta bikes will have this handlebars and we'll give them this one. So if we whip this around, put it in there, you can go with the...
You have a choice.
We also started doing Spire brakes, which we love, and we kept it simple with the, got SRAM 9s in the front with an X7 in the back, because people still like the grip shifts on here. Okay. Oh, the one biggest thing is the seat.
Okay.
We're bringing all the seats in from Thor, as you can see. We support Thor. He's in Poland, Gregor's, and Greg makes these great seats. Come as a fiberglass with the bike, but if you wanted to, we can upgrade into carbon fiber. Okay. And so he makes these like not even 600-gram carbon seats, and that helps a lot with the weight. And you got two different sides. You got one that's an easy, keeps your butt in there, so you don't slide off, right. Or a little more flat for the sport guys who just like the aerodynamics. These are the headrests that we have for Meta bikes now. And they're made by Thor also. It's carbon fiber, it's got a nice form, fits on the back of the neck, and it's adjustable up and down. And they're relatively inexpensive. You're not talking $100 or more, it's a lot less.
I must admit, I've never seen a frame quite like this. Please explain, what do we have here?
Well, this is a prototype. We're looking at trying new things. I mean, this is my fun part of recumbent life, where now I'm at the point I want to play, and I like manufacturing. I want to keep it going. So, we were working on taking the original Meta bike, and then we made some dramatic changes. So it's not a Meta bike anymore. It's nice. We did everything from having the tapered head tube, a lot stronger. Now I can put any fork I want on it. And if you notice, it's lower. This actually, you'd ride this with the seat back a lot farther. And the color. Well,
I don't notice anything.
I want something hot, you know? It's like, hey, give me the hot color, you know?
I saw a guy running after this with a fire extinguisher earlier, so it's getting a lot of attention. So this is like a work in progress. This is nothing that's available now, just some ideas put together.
It's the first run of it, and we're just checking it out.
All right, Rob, so carbon fiber trikes, we're hearing so much about them in so many places. Performer has a little something to talk about. What do we have here?
I do. This is a Cantus. George had this put together, made a composite mold, made it, because they do, like I've said before, the high-end stuff, so they're starting to go into that realm. And this thing is awesome. I mean, it really is good. Now, this is an extra type of wheel you can add on, but it's like another $750. But the wheel, the other carbon wheel it comes with, this whole thing is like $3,600, which to me is kind of unheard of, and it's fast. And he did well. Some racers might want a little lower, some people want to go, but no, for what it is, it's a good all-around for people who just want to get in and try some carbon fast biking.
What kind of poundage are we talking about in general for this kind of configuration?
Well, with the original wheel, it's about 27 pounds. This is, believe it, about slightly lighter. So I'd say 27 be safe when you put all the goodies on.
These are available right now?
They're available, yeah.
Okay.
We can get them drop shipped to you, whatever. One last thing that makes this kind of cool. If you looked at their other bike, it's Muses. It's a two-wheel, kind of a mid-low racer type, carbon. It's this. But from here on up, it's just a two-wheel. And yeah, so the back end is the same. So what they did, it was pretty smart, really.
They took that design and just extended it.
Have this as a two-wheel or a three-wheel, which I think is pretty awesome.
For now, how do people get a hold of you?
Just give me an email, give me a phone call, we'll get back to you. The reason for that is we're taking 3 of our websites and pull them together, and we need we'll just have it all being a shop. at one place, rbr.info, and people then can send me questions. We'll have more videos up, more instruction manuals. So we're expanding.
And Rob, one last thing, I wanted to thank you so much for supporting the Laidback Bike Report here at Cycle-Con this year. As a patron sponsor, we sure appreciate the support. As long as we've known you, we really have always appreciated the support you've given us. So thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
We are here with Mark Eglin from Catrike. How you doing, Mark?
Everything's good. It's a beautiful day, beautiful crowd in Nashville.
It is. Lots of people here at Cycle-Con. So, Mark, we have a new trike that Catrike has brought out very recently. It's right in front of us. Can you tell us a little about it?
Sure. This is our new Catrike Eola. So we try to put a lot of value in this. We went to 1x11 drivetrain to make it super simple for people. This frame was designed, whole Catrike's designed for manufacturing. So we want to get the time down that we manufacture it so we can keep the price down and put a lot of value in it. So it's got one derailleur, one chainring, one shifter. We manufactured the frame with one bend in it so we can make it faster through the same premium line that we have at Catrike with the same welding, same powder coating, everything. So it's a really nice trike. We're going to get it under $2,000. We're not sure where it's going to end up there. Yeah, that's it.
Can you give us an idea about when it'll be available?
Yeah, so we've froze the design. We're making fixtures right now. We've ordered the parts from Tram, FSA, getting a few machine parts made, and probably the first of the year it'll be available.
Has this trike made a splash so far?
Yeah, so yesterday was dealer day here, and a lot of our dealers are really looking forward to having a little better price point on a Catrike. And then today, the consumer day, a lot of people are like, I don't know about that trike, and they come back and they ride it and they have a big smile on their face. We
have a 559 right here. It's notably a foldable Catrike, and I think people would like to see exactly how one folds a 559. Can you give us a little demo?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, this 559 is one of our best-selling trikes. Got a little higher seat, 26-inch rear wheel, 20-inch front wheels, of course, and it folds to a pretty compact package. So let's see how this works.
Let's see.
So we just have a quick release on the seat back here. It reclines to 4 different positions, depending on how far your recline is. And then there's just a Velcro strap underneath the seat. You bring this up across the street, and then there's one more quick release on the hinge. So you can just loosen that up. And then the cool thing about folding a Catrike is you don't even have to pick it up when you fold. You can just pick up on the handlebar or the mirror mount and swing this underneath. There's a little frame lock here that the chainstay goes into. Velcro strap around the chainstay. There's a little bumper on the bottom to protect the derailleur so you can lay it down. And then you can just pick it up. And there's a little kickstand in a kinetic position so it doesn't stress the derailleur out. So you can pretty much leave it in any gear when you fold it. And there's also a stainless steel shield on the kickstand to keep the chain in place, so you never have to mess with the chain. And then another cool feature is we have little roller wheels, so you can stroll it to your vehicle to put in or in your garage, and then it's a really nice way to store it as well in a small package.
Beautiful. And one more thing, Mark, I wanted to thank Catrike for supporting the Laidback Bike Report here at Cycle-Con this year as a patron sponsor. We really appreciate your support.
Yeah, it's great all the work you guys do, and I think you're making a difference in the community, so I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks, Gary.
We are here with Pat Franz of TerraCycle.
Hi,
it's
Gary.
good to see you, Pat. It's
good to see you again.
So there are a number of things we need to talk about, some of the new items that you have, maybe some of the old standby. So why don't we get started, if we could, with this trike. Tell us what you got.
We've always got lots of new stuff. So starting at the front of the trike, we'll just work to the back.
Sounds like a good plan.
That's our accessory mount. We've been making those for years, sell tons of those. This is attached to a camera mount that puts your camera up above your feet and good height above the ground. We just stuck an accessory mount on the front because we can. They go all kinds of places. So this is our flash pack here, this one. You just pop it open and just go like that. Smooth it closed, waterproof, very simple little bag. Okay. These are the exit assists, been making for several years now, very popular item. These little guys here are a new thing. They bolt right into the bar end shifter, using the bolt that the bar end shifter's on, and we make separate ones for Shimano, Microshift, and SRAM, because of course they're all different. So They bolt right on, and they're great for things like throttles and motor controls and things like that, because it's right where your thumb is. Let's see, moving on back a little bit, we've got the seat side mount. We've been making those for years. I think we've explained those before, but something that some people don't know is how easily the bags pop on and off.
Let's do that. Yeah, these are incredibly popular.
So, find the right buttons there. The bag just pops off. It's got a shoulder strap. This is an Arkell bag, a pretty popular bag, waterproof, nice size. Put a 6-pack in there if you want.
There actually is a 6-pack in there, ladies and gentlemen, but we will not reveal that at this time. All right, what else?
And then one of the things we're really proud of making now is the Crispy Steve Finer Recliner headrests.
Yeah.
And we couldn't resist making a few improvements to them. And so everything's painted and anodized now, and it clamps together. So there's no fixed pieces. So you can mix and match lengths on things and move things around. If you want to move things over and put a light on it and stuff like that, we can do that now.
Okay.
And this is showing with a camera mount attached to the headrest with just an iPhone on there. Got a battery mount here you can't see from this side. Got 2 flags on here with our flag mounts. Flag mounts are pretty cool. They've got a little rubber gripper ring in there. You put the flag in, it goes ka-chunk, and it grips the flag and doesn't want to come out. The other cool thing we really got to see, and this is just a prototype, as you can see when I take the bag off, but it's a rear rack for the suspended Catrikes. And it's really kind of fun and simple. It's one of those things where we worked on it a long time, went through a lot of prototypes, and now it's really easy, and it's kind of head slapping when you look at it. It's like, wow, well, that's pretty simple. It's a regular threadless stem on there, holding on to the back of the trike. They're really sturdy and strong and well priced. And we make a little plastic sleeve for that to grip it and just slide it in. There you go. If you have a suspended Catrike, you can now put a rack, one on each side.
That's something that's been needed for a while, I think. That's brilliant, Pat.
Just pop the bag back on there. Yeah, away we go.
Now we've got another fully accessorized trike right here, a little adventurer, looks like. Tell us what we have on this.
Well, what we're showing here is our new fairing mount. We call it the winter mount. Weather inhibiting and travel ready. It's an all new mount that clamps on with a CNC machine clamp, so no more hose clamps, which people are glad to hear, including us. We now make so many clamps in so many sizes that we can put it on any boom of any bike or trike. Wow. And if we missed one, we'll make another one. So it just bolts on with 2 bolts onto the clamp, and a very nice CNC machine clamp, fold forward friction hinge. We're showing it with the light mounting accessory on there. Mm-hmm. Of course, we've got our 2-bottle adjustable angle bottle holder. They're pretty popular. This one's also got our bar end shifter mount, which is a very nice place to put a computer or a motor control right by your hands, right, where you shift. Yeah. Seat side mount, of course, and then neck rests. And this is also showing our rear light mount, which is a real simple little thing that puts a vertical tube anywhere on the back of your bike or trike. You just swivel the clamps around until you get it vertical, and then you can mount a regular rear light. All the rear lights are made for mounting on something vertical, so that gives you something vertical even if your seat doesn't have anything. Like this seat, the only accessible tubes are all horizontal, and so that gives you a nice vertical thing. Puts it up higher toward the back of your seat where it's more visible. Showing the neck rest, of course. This is another kind of camera mount, just attached to the back of the seat. Puts the view up over your head, so you get a little bit of helmet in there, but it's kind of your eye view video.
Sometimes you want that, right?
And then got a flag mount back here with a flag on it. The flag mounts attach all kinds of places. From any tube that's horizontal to vertical, you can put a flag at a nice flag angle. Mm-hmm. Any tube from 1/2 inch to 1 1/8. So pretty much anywhere.
Okay, Pat, so now we have a table full of your accessories, and I was hoping you could, tell us a little bit about what we have here.
Okay, this is about 10% of the clamps and stuff we make, so kind of scary. We make way tons more stuff, but we've got just a general sampling of stuff here. We've got things like idler mounts, several different idler mounts. This is a little bit different idler mount here. that's a bolt-on arm to extend the idler mount down farther. And it's really for older trikes and bikes that where you need to fix the chain line and reroute the chain line. It lets you move the idler far away from the main tube of the bike or trike in order to fix that. So that's what that looks like. We've got our heavy-duty series clamps made for holding things like battery mounts and things like that. This is a battery mount for a Bacchetta. You can see the Bacchetta teardrop shape and the tunnels for the cables and everything. So some pieces of our battery mount. You can see here that there's this, and it's got the arc in there, and that lets you mount this any way you want on that arm. So if the only place you have to clamp is over here, but the battery needs to be over here, you can do that. Or if it needs to be below, you can do that too.
Super.
Really versatile.
What are these?
These are some of our T-clamps, we call them, because it goes inside one tube there, and you can see the wedge clamp on there, and then another tube goes in here. So you get a 90-degree attachment. So we use that all kinds of places. This is our new fairing mount, and it's showing you the mechanism there. It's got an adjustable backstop, so you can adjust it back to where you want it, and then when you want to get off the trike, you just fold it forward. Showing off that. These are some of our headrest pieces here, neck rest pieces. This one just bolts on to replace a Catrike. If you have a Catrike neck rest now, you can just bolt this on. And showing some of the memory foam inserts. We call them the Charmans, because everyone likes to squeeze them.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just going to keep doing this.
Go ahead, Gary.
Oh, that's kind of nice. All right. Keep
Okay.
going.
One of our popular fastback bags, the Carbon Slim that goes in the back of a hard shell seat.
Right.
It's got the special Velcros that basically form this to a pocket to the back of your seat, and then you can just take it on and off. But it'll fit on any carbon seat that way.
Okay, Pat, we have kind of a festive look behind us here.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have?
We've got purple sky flags. Make flags in all kinds of colors and patterns and stuff. Got a couple new ones here. We've got USA and Canada now. Also have a new bigger flag. We did this at the request of Matt Galat, Jai-Yo, because he wanted a bigger flag because he wanted to be able to put a big QR code on there. So now we have a bigger flag that's you can tell is 30% bigger than the old ones. The other thing we wanted to show you is how we can do customized flags. So this is for Recumbent Bikes of Tennessee that loaned us that trike there. And so we just took a standard flag and cut out some custom graphics and put it on there for them. And we can do that for anybody. We can do it
even like the Laid-Back Bike Report?
Like the Laid-Back Bike Report, individuals, clubs, dealers, and stuff like that. We can put, if you have a ride that you're doing, putting on, we can do custom flags for you.
What a great permanent memento to whatever you might be doing.
Memento, and it provides a lot of visibility and safety. So we also have little flag mounts that go on flags. If people want even more safety, they can light up their flags with a standard rear light that just clamps right on.
Purple Sky Flags.
Purple Sky Flags. Yep, that's us too.
And I wanted to thank you, Pat, for always being such a great supporter of the Laid-Back Bike Report. Specifically, patron sponsor again here at Cycle-Con. You've always been one of our earliest and certainly one of our stoutest performers as far as sponsors go. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We love the Laid-Back Bike Report. It's always fun to see you.
It's great. Thank you.
Yep.
We are here at the Bacchetta booth with Lars and Mike. And guys, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah,
great
doing
show.
Great. Thank
good
you.
Show.
Yeah, it's been really busy. It's a good show so far. Well, as many of you already know, Bacchetta has introduced a couple of very interesting items in their product line. And we are here today to talk about a couple of those things and maybe give a few explanations about what's going on with Bacchetta. So first of all, Mike, if you can, tell us a little bit about what this is and the backstory of this trike.
Right. Well, this is the new Bacchetta carbon trike, and a lot of people, they didn't know what we were getting into when we got into trikes. And how it kind of came into being was a couple of years ago. We're not trike designers. Bacchetta is a two-wheel company, and that's what we've always been known as. Our designers were two-wheel recumbent designers. So what we did was, one day I was just on the internet looking around, looking at carbon, seeing if anybody was doing carbon in trikes. And I go online and I see this company who's building this beautiful trike. I did a little research, nothing on the forums, nothing really existed about them online. So I just thought, well, what the hell, I'll send these guys an email. So I sent an email to Lars asking, hey, you guys need any U.S. distribution or anything?
And Lars, where were you at the time? Tell me what that is?
We were in Sweden, selling directly to USA, actually.
And the name of the company?
Carbon Trikes.
Carbon Trikes. Oh.
Like an S in the end.
Okay. All right, let's go on with that.
And what happened was Lars sent me an email saying, essentially, we're not interested. Good luck. So I called up the owner of the company, the CEO. Long story short, a year later, we're getting our first prototypes in, and we happened to work with these guys who are extremely talented. Royal Institute of Design in Stockholm, both of them, him and Arthur, who's his partner, and we just ended up with this absolutely beautiful machine in front of us.
And this is like 2 or 3 years from the initial contact? Am I gauging that?
It's 2 years now. 2 years,
Okay.
2 years,
Okay,
yeah. Very stressful time.
Maybe, Mike, if you can then talk specifically about some of the features of this, for people that don't know about carbon trikes. What do we have here? How is this set up? Talk about the seat and the componentry and such, could you?
Sure, absolutely. Well, one of the main things is it's a full carbon frame. It's not just a bunch of bonded together tubes. There's a lot of design effort that went into this. And just real quick, our company that we've worked with our other carbon frames in Taiwan, they're a big company. They know their business. This was the most complicated thing they've ever built.
Yeah.
They're wanting to show this to other people over in Taiwan going, this is what we can do. And I want to point out the detail that Lars and Arthur have gone into on every little piece of this.
All right, let's go.
One of it was just like, for instance, this adjustable seat back. Quick release, you can adjust it up and down. And everything had to be just right to the way it fit into the slots. So it wasn't anything that was just, well, it's off a few millimeters, it'll be okay. It was really a lot of detail went into the proper curve, the function of the whole situation. And then there's a unique aspect of this trike is a storage hatch, which a lot of people didn't realize existed.
Yeah, I was going to ask about what that was.
Yeah, and it's ingenious the whole way they did it, from the fact that it exists. So you can put a water bladder in there, you can put your wallet so it's not falling out of your pockets. But they made it so when the seat foam is attached, you pull up your seat foam, the hatch lifts up, everything's right there.
The Velcro on top just pulls the drawer up.
Right up, yeah. And the holes you see all over it for water bottle mounts, the hose on the back side here that you can see on the camera, that's actually for the bladder hose to come out. And Lars, didn't you have another magnet mount down there?
Yeah, for if you use it as a water bladder system, for a camelback system, it's very practical. Just fit the hose here. So
yeah, you attach a magnet down there, so a hole goes in there, and then so there's a lot of small details, and Lars actually has some things that are going to be on the final production that aren't here yet, like maybe a pannier system.
Yeah, so you can use it for touring too, actually. So.
Yeah. I think one of the things that people don't understand is they look at this, they look at the carbon, and they say, well, this is just a performance race bike. And they don't realize that Lars rides these in the wintertime in Sweden with studded tires.
Right. No doubt, I think the impression that people have had from what we've seen so far, which isn't a whole lot, is that it's a racing bike. So it's interesting to find out that there's more to this than that.
Yeah, and the other thing that we've kind of incorporated into it, we have an idea with Lars and Arthur as the designers to have a trike line, not just this is it, this is our offering to the world, we're going to keep moving on. And one of the things we did to incorporate that is Bachetta's kind of famous on our steel and aluminum bikes for having a teardrop shaped tube. So what we did on this was Lars and Arthur incorporated that into the boom. So as we move forward with aluminum trikes or whatever, we'll be able to offer the carbon boom as an option.
And insert into those?
Insert into those other frames.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
very nice.
A lot of, and they were running a totally different system before this, but they saw some opportunities there and kind of ran with it.
And we designed it to use the properties of the carbon fiber. Actually, we can get some dampening effect. but you have to do the frame right. So this part is like one piece, and when you use it, you get a little bit dampening effect.
So this is passive suspension that you would be...
Especially not like aluminum is super stiff. This one, you can, with carbon fiber, you can get some dampening effect. And if you're using race tires, you know, they are really hard.
Right.
You want something at least.
What is the disposition of this product in terms of sales and availability and such, and maybe price? People are wanting to know. That's what so tell us about that.
Well, we're looking at availability next spring, probably April, May-ish, somewhere around in there. Price is, this is pre-production stuff. We're probably looking in that $600 to $6,500 range, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but that's a good range. We're really looking at this as like our second generation flagship of Bacchetta. I think it's fair to say. And, you know, people, it's kind of funny because people over the last few weeks after we started to introduce this, I've had everything from this is great, this is awesome, to guys going, who do you guys think you are, getting into a market everybody else knows about, and this is the only way we could have done it. For us to go in, try to compete with, I mean, beautiful pieces of work from ICE, Catrike, those guys, we can't do this. We had to go in with our strong points, which is carbon, and people are taking notice.
We have in front of us now the second interesting development at Bacchetta of late. And joining us now is also the CEO of Bacchetta, Mark Swanson. Hello, Mark.
Hey, how are you doing?
Great to have you with us here today as well. So we're going to start out again telling the story of this interesting bike. Mike, you going to take this?
Sure.
All right. Tell us how the development of this bike came along.
Well, right. So this actually is a little bit of one of those. It kind of involves Lars a little bit, actually. Again.
All right, let's just bring Lars back. Sorry, Mark.
It was kind of crazy because we were working with Carbon Trikes on this thing, and he knew Adam at Pelso, the Pelso brand, a little bit, and they were like, well, yeah, they're looking for...
Where is that? Tell us just a little bit about Pelso.
Pelso, they're Senzu.
No, in Hungary.
Yeah, in Hungary, but the name of the parent
outside
company...
of Budapest, the name of their parent company is Suzuki.
Suzuki. And they were kind of building this, and they were planning on getting a U.S. distributor. And they'd been kind of looking around a little bit, but hadn't done anything. So Lars kind of made the introduction. And we started talking to them, and they sent us a frame, and they thought it was ready to go, and we were like, listen, this isn't quite ready to go. We don't know if we can be a distributor. And they were very receptive to making like changes, so the first thing we really wanted to do was load test the frame. Now, a lot of people don't know this about Bacchetta, but we're really big on not only having a quality, but it's got to be durable, because people in the U.S. are a little bit bigger than other places. You know. And so the first thing we did was we got a frame in, and we load test it. So when we load test our frames, we get it up to 750, 100,000 cycles, then we go up to 850 for 100,000 cycles. As we was loading that first frame up to 750, chainstays snapped.
Not a good thing.
Not a good thing. And they were just like, oh, but to their credit, they right away, they jumped on it. They took care of that. They added like 4 layers to the chainstays, added some to the boom, and the end result is this beautiful bike. And we've had a lot of questions from people like, why would you guys want to carry somebody who's competing with you? And my response is, well, somebody else is going to sell it against ours. We might as well be selling it with ours. So it kind of really worked out well for us. And I think that's one of the confusions, is that just because it's an S-frame, it's a different bike. And in some ways it is. One of the main features of it, obviously, is the S-frame. And people look at that and they like it. You know, it's European in design, it's a little bit different. Stick bikes can be a little monotonous. You got a frame, you know, and there's a lot out there. The great thing about this is the seat height is only about an inch or so lower than our Carbon Aero, but it adjusts on a flat plane versus an angular plane. So if somebody is maybe on the balls of their feet at a stop on our Carbon Aero, they can be flat-footed on this.
That's all the difference you need to get those feet down.
All the difference you need. And the other thing is they really set this up to run with a 1-by system. Now you'll notice we have a 2-by system on ours, and it's pretty cool. They include a bolt-on front derailleur tube for people who want to run a double, which a lot of people in the U.S. like the gear range that they can get with it. Also, we kind of have some of our stock setup that we use on our bikes, the handlebars, as you can see, and the seat stays. We're going to be offering both our stuff and some of the more familiar things you're used to with them, most notably the J-bars, which a lot of people really like. John Schlitter used those a lot on his bikes and became very popular. John actually had quite a bit of input on this bike as well, so I want to give a shout out to John on all that. So I think what we got is just a nice complement to what's already in our line, and it's kind of being built up as, you know, people are kind of associating us with carbon fiber now a lot.
When it comes to buying the Trike or an Aero or the new Brevet, how is the customer going to be introduced to this on your website? I mean, what's the procedure going to be for them to buy these things? Do you want to address that, Mark?
Yeah, we have a vision of trying to make it more flexible for our customers to get a custom product. And I think bespoke products where they're perfect fits and just what you want are very valuable. So part of the features that Mike talked about is that total interchangeability, and we want customers to be able to do that online, where they can go on and say, you know, here's the crank I like, here's the handlebar set, here's the exact seat I want. So we're building that configurator that'll allow us to, you know, do that on the Aero frame or this carbon fiber frame at the Pelso, and they get exactly what they want. So that's part of a strategic direction that Bacchetta is going to, especially as we do more of our sales online, because there's fewer dealers out there.
Right.
So, and we'll be shipping these to dealers based on the customer specifications too.
So we're probably going to start getting the Pelso in about 4 to 6 weeks. As we all know, the two-wheel market has taken a decline. There's no secret there.
Yeah.
To not recognize that would be blind. So what we're trying to do, and we've actually had this question pop up, so are you guys going to get rid of two-wheel recumbents? I think we're going to reinforce two-wheel recumbents, but we realize you got to have both. And so what we really want to do now with Pelso and with our current lineup is, along with the Trikes, is do kind of what you see HP doing. Bikes and Trikes, you can have both and you can be successful with both. $4,800 for the complete bike, and frame kits are
$1,900.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds great. And then Mark, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I want to mention I've been using this kind of as my main bike the last few months, and I really like the ride of it. It's a little softer. We've stiffened up the frame. It's just as fast as the Carbon Aero, but different type features on it. And so I think there's a definite audience that this will appeal to.
All right, I'm sure that is the case. So, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been a very frank discussion. That transparency, I think, goes a long way. So that's important. And one last thing, I wanted to thank Mark and Bacchetta for being patron sponsors of the Laidback Bike Report here at Recumbent Cycle-Con. We appreciate your support very, very much. So, Mark, thank you.
Thank you.
And Mike, thank you so much.
man.
Okay. Look at what's happening here, racing.
Yeah, pretty good looking bunch.
We are here with our pal Doug Davis from Dallas. Doug is here with us at the Laidback Bike Report booth, showing off some of his Velomobiles. Doug, how are we doing?
Oh, we're doing great. It's been busy, but it's been a lot of fun today.
All right, so as I said, Doug is Mr. Velomobile. He's Mr. Wizard on Bent Rider. He is known as the complete expert on all things Velomobile here in the U.S. Doug, let's talk a little bit about quickly about what you brought. First of all, what do we have here?
So I brought my almost all my personal collection. This is right here is a Quattrovelo. That's the four-wheel that was introduced a couple of years ago. We have a DF here, we have a Milan, and we have a Mango here out of my collection.
Okay, and we'll show you guys that very shortly. Doug, tell us what it is that is so attractive to you about Velomobiles. Why Velomobiles?
Well, I mean, I love getting stopped by people to ask what I'm riding. No, they're much faster for a lot less energy. They are an all-weather bike. I ride in all sorts of weather that would drive anybody back to the gym or to their indoor trainer. You ride in the rain, you ride in the heat. You're more comfortable. With the amount of energy you put in them, you go faster, you go further, and you have a generally easier time of the fitness because you're having more fun. And what we've found is that you just don't see anybody who's unhappy after a ride riding one of these things.
Right, and I can attest to that because there's been plenty of people who sat in them and checked them out today, and they all have a big smile on their face.
Oh, yeah, it's just amazing. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is so much better than I thought it would be." Right. We've had people say, "I thought it was going to be really hard. I thought it was going to be really hot, or I thought it was going to be very hard to get up. There's a hill here on the test track." They say, "None of that was true." And I said, no, this is a lot different than you think it is. You have to ride one to really understand what they're like.
Right. It's been a sensation here at the show. So, all right, Doug, beyond what we've just talked about, I believe you have some interesting news to share with our viewers about an idea that you've got. Tell us what that's about.
So I had this idea. I think I fell and got hit my head a couple of times or something. But last year, I kind of walked away from the corporate world that I was in, and I was thinking about what I should do. And I decided that, I like riding these things so much. They are so much fun. The people that I've helped get into one have all come back and said it was better than that. I decided to solve the problems that we've had getting them in the United States and set up a dealership, distributorship, and be the guy you can go to get one. So we can bring them in, we can do all the work through the customs, we can take care of all the remittance, we can make the whole thing just like you're buying a bike now. It's no longer a hassle. It's no longer something you do with some guy online that you hardly know. You can come down to our store soon, because we're not quite there yet, but you can come ride anything you want to ride. You can talk to us about stuff. You can tell us what you want to do. And we've got wonderful roads to ride on. I mean, I ride on them all the time. Anybody who watches my videos knows I ride all the time.
Let's back up a little bit now. So where is this store going to be located? And tell us what the timeline is on this so people know.
Sure. So the store is going to be in North Dallas in an actual suburb called Plano. It is on the east side of town mainly because that's where all the better bike roads are, to the north and to the east. So we found a nice spot that we like. It's easy to get to. We're working through the process of getting the store put together right now. We expect to open the doors in January 1, so we're doing exactly all the wrong stuff. We're opening a door into the off-season. But then again, people say that, why would you do a bike stop in the off-season? I said, look, I can ride in January and be happy. I'm not cold. So come when you're at home shivering because it's 30 degrees outside and you'd love to go ride, then come test ride a Velomobile with me, and I'll show you that you're not cold and you're having fun.
All right, that sounds great. Now, let's be clear so everybody understands that we've talked a lot about Velomobiles, but this store, and what's the name of the store going to be?
Bicycle Evolution.
Bicycle Evolution. So Bicycle Evolution.
There's actually a story behind that. So I started this on the bike, I don't know, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when I came up with this idea and this little logo of all the different kinds of bikes, and I did it mostly to tease the upright riders I was riding with, because they would always say, oh, you got one of those things and you're really slow and you're going to crawl up the hills, we don't want to ride with you. And I said, no, look, this is the next evolution in bicycles. And I was at like some lunch and said that, and it stuck with me over time. And then I drew up this little graphic. And when I decided to go into business with this, you go into business and you start to think of a name. And I went online to one of these sites where they pick a name for you, and you pay them a bunch of money, and everybody throws names at the wall, and you see what sticks. And then I was going along, and I think, you know what? I have a name. It's already been a branding. People already know it, and it's this Bicycle Evolution. So that's what we named the store. We got a great storefront. We've got almost 6,000 square feet of storefront. We're going to have all of the models.
Right, so that's what I wanted to clear up a little bit earlier. So I don't want to leave people with the impression that this is purely a Velomobile store. So tell us about the lines that you anticipate bringing in. I know you've worked on this directly already. Go ahead, tell me.
We'll have ice trikes in there. We'll have Performer. We'll have a few other brands you guys all know and love. We'll have some bikes in there, in there as well. But what we're really going to have is a whole program for fitness in there. We've got a world recognized coach in our staff now. We're working on our plans to develop fitness programs for recumbents. So right now everybody adapts fitness plans from bikes to recumbents. Anybody who rides recumbents will tell you they don't work so well. And so we've been riding recumbents for years. We've got guys that know this stuff. We're putting together fitness plans so we can help you get better riding and enjoy riding and get your strength and your endurance up and your health better as part of the whole deal. So we'll have rides all the time, we'll have tours, we'll have all sorts of things that will help you get out and ride more.
That sounds great, Doug. So a holistic approach. So Doug, thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.
All right.
Thank you.
We're here at the Trident Trikes booth with our friends Tom and Rudy. And first of all, I want to thank Tom and Rudy very much. They are the major sponsors here at Cycle-Con for the Laid-Back Bike Report. They sponsored us every year. We really appreciate their support. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well, we're very happy to do it for you. We've been lucky in the industry to have lots of customers, and we like to pass it forward. These videos have been fantastic for both us and the industry, so we are happy to do it.
Thank you so much, Tom. All right, so let's start talking about some of the products we want to highlight today. What do we have right here?
So this is the first one I want to talk about, which is the Stowaway. Stowaway has always been our #1 seller. It's the 10th anniversary of the Stowaway, as a matter of fact. It's been out for a long time. But one of the most requested things we get is, why doesn't the Stowaway have bigger wheels on the back? So we're real proud to show that we have a 24-inch wheel extension now for Stowaways. We also have a 26-inch wheel extension for Stowaways, if you like. And it's a through axle, so it's much stiffer than any other stowaway that we made. And one of the issues with wheel extensions that nobody has been able to solve before is most wheel extensions put your wheel up like this. This sits very level. We'll be making kits for existing stowaways. We figured the other day we have over 3,000 stowaways on the road. And so we'll have kits for existing ones, and we'll be building a Stowaway 24 out of the box first of the year.
Tom, we have some sort of topper here on this trike. What do we have here?
So this is something that we actually just built last week. One of the things that, again, we get requests for a lot is just a top for a trike. We wanted to design this to be inexpensive, to really be universal. It should fit on most brands of trikes, and inexpensive. So this is the canopy slash neck rest. Obviously it will fit Trident. If your seat width is close to this, it will fit. Brackets just clamp onto the seat, slides up and down. The neck rest slides up and down as well. This should be shipping in December or January. It's $149 retail, so it's certainly affordable. This is for sun more than rain. This is not waterproof, and the rain will get you from the front, back, and sides anyway. But we've been really excited about this, and you know, for a little tiny thing like this, this has been one of the hits of the show here. Everybody wants to know what this is. Everybody's trying to buy this off of us.
As always at the Trident booth, we have some Yautta trikes, and here representing Yautta is our friend Rudy Van Es. Rudy, tell us a little bit about what we have right here.
We hebben hier een nieuw model, een 26 inch. En dit hebben we gedaan omdat we dan wat meer hoogte hebben voor mensen die hoog willen zitten.
And now say that in English.
Okay, we have here a new model with bigger wheels, 26 inch, and we do this because people want to sit more high from the ground, so it's easy to get on.
This trike is, of course, part of the entire modular line of the Yautta trikes. That means this particular, this tadpole configuration is not the only way this trike can be configured. How else can it be configured?
Oh, we configure it as a tandem, And you can also configure it with 24-inch fat tire wheels and 20-inch wheels on the rear side.
Okay, and so and also it can be a quad, yes, so and even a tandem, if I'm not mistaken, right? So the great thing about this is you buy whatever particular configuration you like, but you can later on change it into any of those other ones by a modest add-on. Is that basically the story? That's great. And now, speaking of modest, how much would this cost in this configuration?
$920.
Okay, thanks a lot. We are here at the ICE booth at Recumbent Cycle-Con with a very special guest, Matt LaRue, who happens to be the world champion. Matt, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Gary.
All right, so let's talk about this new VTX. What changes have been made?
So the most obvious change is the change from the white paint scheme to the black paint scheme. So we've gone with a more up-to-date matte black with the same quality graphics that the previous models and all the other trikes have got.
Now matte black, that was actually named for you, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
The sort of next change is that it's also adopted the swept-back cross-axle that is available across the trike range now as well, which makes the trike a little bit easier to get in and out of, and helps with the shorter riders' heel clearance as well, so making it more accessible to more people.
Okay.
The next change is that with the introduction of this VTX, there's a new wheel set, so it's a lighter weight, stiffer wheel set that's ready for tubeless tyres. We also now have the option of disc or drum brakes on the front of the VTX, so we've got some really nice black painted 70mm Sturmey Archer drum brakes, which give you a little bit of an aero advantage and a much simpler, more user-friendly brake. But the disc option is still available for those who want that extra bit of power and who are happy with the setup.
So what other changes that we can talk about now?
So the other change that's come in since the last VTX is that we're now using a Shimano group set across the trike. And I think you have to admit it looks pretty good with the black 105 on this one and the old Tigre on the other one as well.
I know that you have been racing VTXs for quite some time, so the range between the old VTX and the brand new VTX that we have here in front, I'd like to know your impressions of the differences between the old style and what we have right here.
So I started riding the old style VTX a while ago, and since then I've been making updates and changes to bring it more into line with what I like to race. So I started riding with the drum brakes a while ago and also switched to tubeless tyres, and both of those have now become available on the new VTX. So the introduction of this just brings the production VTX up to what I like to race on and what I think makes a better race trike.
We are here with our good friend Chris from ICE, and we are going to talk about another exciting change that ICE has brought to Cycle-Con. How you doing, Chris?
I'm very well, thank you, Gary.
It's good to see you. All right, let's talk about what we have here.
So this is the new Sprint X Tour. It shares a frame with the Sprint X, but this is the touring version. Okay, so the name kind of says what it is. It's very heavily based on the old red Sprint that we've been selling for a number of years, but we've decided to spice it up a little bit, so it's become the Sprint X Tour. Available with all the options that you would have expected on the Sprint. So we can do roll-offs, we can do derailleur gearing, we can do drum brakes, we can do disc brakes, we can do suspension, we can do non-suspension. All of that stuff, all still available. Of course, you've still got the beautifully breathable seat. And for those who want to know, we are working on a version of the luxury seat for the Sprint that should be available early next year. This version of our mesh seat now has the loops on it for our side pod bags, so you don't have the straps going across the seat anymore. So all that is now there. We've got the new neck rest, which is super comfortable. Very adjustable, of course, and super comfortable.
Along with
our wrist rests, which are finally in production and selling very well, and people are really loving them. It's super simple, nice and light, easy to fit. What's not to like?
Let's talk a little bit about maybe any frame changes that you have here too.
Sure. Well, as we did with the Adventures early in the season, we've now brought the cross axle back on the Sprint. So the wheels stay where they are because that's the right place from a stability point of view. But we've brought the cross axle back to give greater heel clearance and make it that little bit easier to get on and off as well. So that's one of the changes that's happened as we're replacing the Sprint with the Sprint X Tour.
All right, folks, obviously we've reset here to talk about the seats, but we did want to finish up talking about the changes in the new e-assist that ICE has made. Let's go ahead and talk about that first, Chris.
Yeah, so thank you, Gary. Yeah, we're replacing this Shimano Steps 6000 motor with the 6100. It's the Shimano are basically doing this. They're discontinuing the 6000, which has been very successful for us. We've sold lots. Great little motor. But Shimano have come up with something better, as they always do.
Right.
The new motor they're claiming to be 20% more efficient, which is nice. It's smaller, it's lighter, it looks better, and it's got 10 newton meters more torque than the old one did. So we're now at 660 newton meters of torque through the Alpine 8 motor. The Alpine 8 hub, if you wish, or through a derailleur system if you prefer not. And it complements the 8000 motor, which we'll be continuing to do through next year, which is of course the biggest, the toughest motor that Shimano make.
Right. Okay. And now let's talk about what we have in front of us here. This is a change that you guys made a few months back, and it's made a big ripple through the recumbent community. Let's talk about what we have here.
Yeah, so these are Ergo Lux seats, which are now currently being fitted to the Adventures, and as you say, they have revolutionised recumbent seating. People are coming to us and saying, that is the comfiest seat I have ever sat on, which is what a recumbent seat should be, and we, after many years, have finally got there. So that's really good news. So here in front of us, you can see we have our standard adventure seat. We have the HD adventure seat in the Lux version, and now for those people who, for all the right reasons, didn't grow as tall as I did, the whole of the back of the seat has been shrunk down to fit as well as possible. And this is its first outing. We only got these into the factory a couple of days before we shipped them out here. And I'm very pleased to say that we've had a lot of shorter people sit on it and say,
oh yeah,
this is what I wanted.
Okay, folks, and I wanted to thank Chris and ICE Trikes so much for being patron sponsors for the Laidback Bike Report here at Cycle-Con. You guys are always great supporters of ours, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for everything you do, Gary.
We appreciate it. We're here with our friend David from HP Velotechnik. Hello, David.
Hi, Gary. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you again. We are here at the HP booth, and we are going to talk about a couple of products that you brought. And I think we'll start right here with this trike. Dave, what do we have?
For 2019, for HP Velotechnik, it's more evolution than revolution. And what we're bringing out for 2019 is the Steps 8000 mountain bike drivetrain. What's really important for us is that it gives people a really good hill climbing capability, as well as offering a double battery combination for the bike to make your tour that much longer and that much more enjoyable.
That sounds great. Well, let's take a closer look here. So can you point out the features that we have on this thing?
Sure. Starting at the top, we have the smaller Steps 8000 display with Bluetooth connection. You can hook it up to your phone and see what you did for your tour and do different setups and whatnot. Down here below, you can see the double batteries, one on the left side, one on the right side. The one on the right side's connected up to the system, whereas the left one you just change over when you're ready to go. And this particular bike has the Shimano 11-speed Di2 XT Di2 shifting.
That's really sweet. And it wasn't exactly this model, but of course many of you know who watch Laidback Bike Report. I put out a video of our tour of the Rhine Valley this past spring, and we had the greatest time, and they're just great bikes to tour on, and the e-assist is wonderful on these. That step system is really, really nice.
It just makes the day that much more enjoyable.
It sure does. All right, here we have a beautiful Scorpion FS and a few items we want to point out, a couple of new things. David, what do we have going on here?
Hi, Gary. New for 2019 with our Scorpion, our whole Scorpion series actually, is we have a new color scheme for all the bikes, new decals. We've gone pretty much to like a bright color and a dull color to sort of hopefully get the taste of the people, what the people are looking for in a new trike from HP Velotechnik. More importantly, we're going to a bright color for the Scorpion FS26, a matte orange. We have new decals. We have the head tube badge here with the frame number on it, and the boom always comes in a black anodized with length markings on it.
All right, David, so the new colors and the decals, are those available right now?
We're shipping those right now, Gary. We've been shipping the new colors and new decals since the 1st of October 2018.
Very good. That's the news. Okay, folks, and lastly, I really wanted to thank David and HP for sponsoring the Laid-Back Bike Report here at Recumbent Cycle-Con. Again, we really appreciate your support, as you guys have given us so much support over the years. We appreciate it. Thank you, David.
No problem, Gary. We look forward to seeing you all the time.
Okay, thanks. We're here with Tommy today at a brand new booth at Recumbent Cycle-Con called OUTRIDER, right? And we have,
yep.
What do you sell here?
We sell all different kinds of electric assist recumbents, primarily trikes and quads.
All right, and of course we have a trike here in front of us. This is probably the most unusual trike that I've seen.
Yeah.
And I was hoping you could maybe take us through the features of this and how it differs from a regular, another e-assisted trike. So what do we have here?
Yeah. So we always look at the garage as a toolbox, and this is a larger tool in the cycling toolbox. This we designed to be as a vehicle that can keep up with the flow of traffic in the mountains. I designed it when I was in school, and I had 2 close calls with trucks on roads with no berms in Boone, North Carolina, and I finally was so frustrated, and I said, you know, I want to design an electric assist machine that can actually keep up with the cars on the road, so that's the safest way to ride. And so this is 10 years after that realization.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you started marketing these when?
About 9 years ago.
Okay, so you have been doing this for quite a while. So, okay, so tell me a little. This is called the OUTRIDER. Tell me what this is about. Tell me about the features of this. Obviously, you have a monstrous-looking battery system here. What do we have?
Yeah, sure. So it's the 2nd generation of the machine, and this generation we designed from the ground up, scratch built, and it's designed around a monocoque chassis. So super modular, so the whole front end unbolts, the whole rear end unbolts, and so you can do different track widths, you can do single rear wheel or quad, but really at the heart of it is we recognize that the success of internal combustion vehicles has been because there's so much onboard energy with gasoline, and with electric vehicles we've taken the same approach as Tesla in that we go with a very large battery pack that you can use however you want. So that allows us to get ranges of up to 200 miles at 20 miles an hour, top speeds of 45 to 55 miles an hour depending on the setup, and very fast recharge times of 45 minutes per pack.
And that's just standard 120 you plug in kind of thing?
That's correct. Yeah, the 220 cuts the times in half.
Right, but still that's very reasonable. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about the suspension of this vehicle.
Yeah, so it has front and rear suspension. The rear is a single pivot air suspension, and the front is a dual A-arm suspension. It's like automotive suspension. About 3 inches of travel in the front and 5 in the rear. That has a sway bar in the front, so you don't get any body roll and cornering.
Nice. That's a lot of travel there. How does that look? Let's give it a little push there.
Sure.
Yes, that's heavy duty.
The railroad tracks at high speed. So.
What does a rig like this weigh?
The weight is anywhere from about 115 to 160, and we've done everything we can to get the most functionality and the lowest weight. But the majority of the weight is a battery pack. It's a lithium battery pack, but it's 4,000 watt hours. So on the largest pack, so absolutely massive battery pack, and we have a 1,000 watt onboard charger. It's extremely powerful. And then a 2-speed Delta Y board for the electric system that allows us to have a low range and a high range. So a lot of functionality.
Yep. So now with that size battery pack and such, I assume you need some cooling. That's more than just plain air cooling, yes?
Well, it's interesting. It's phase change cooling. So it's phase change material around the packs. But the great thing with such a large pack is we don't work the cells very hard, so they don't get hot like you would on a much smaller 400, 500 watt hour battery pack. So they really stay cool during charging and discharging.
All right, that sounds great. So I know you have all kinds of different configurations. I'm just kind of wondering about the price ranges that people would run into for them. Give me a general idea, would you?
Sure. So we build some pure electric machines that are ATV alternatives for hunters and anyone that wants to move around the ranch without gas. So those machines start about $12,900. And then we add the electric system, or I'm sorry, we add the pedaling system. That takes it to $13,900 starting price. And then from there, basically, you add more cost as you add more battery packs.
Okay.
So they start with a single battery and you can do up to 4 packs inside the enclosure, all watertight and sealed.
Interesting. Now, you're here at this show, and I know you had a bunch of dealers probably talking to you on Friday. So do you already have a dealer network set up? Do you work that way? Is it also direct? How do you sell these?
We sell purely direct, yeah. So we folks contact us, place an order, and then we ship fully assembled in a crate to them.
Okay, and that's by going to your website, I'm guessing, which is?
OUTRIDERUSA.com.
All right, and we'll put that in the description below the YouTube video that we have here. And, wow, it's an amazing looking vehicle. Wish you a lot of luck. It's nice to meet you, Tom.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Cheers.
We are here with our good friend Hansa Gala at the AZUB booth at Cycle-Con. How you doing today, Hansa?
I'm fine, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing great. So we're going to talk about a couple of the items that AZUB has brought to the booth. Let's start right here with something you're sitting on. What do we have?
So this is a standard AZUB Tricon 26 trike with all the folding features and 26-inch rear wheel with rigid through axle and so on. But what is unique on this one is the Mitria shifting from Shimano. It comes from Urban Bikes. It fits perfectly on Recumbents because it has an ergonomic position. It is the system of shifting which come originally from road bikes. So you brake and shift with the same lever, and it's very clean here. So there are no cables around, and it's perfect ergonomy simply. So that's how we like it. It comes only with the hydraulic disc brakes, and we have to a little bit adjust it for the mountain bike cassette. So it's 2x11 speeds. We like it a lot. This is the Tyfly X. It's our latest model. It comes from the full suspension Tyfly 26, but it has 3 26-inch wheels. It's really, it is not really like a fat trike originally. It has a plus size tires, so it's 2.8 inches. It's a bit faster in terrain. You can have even thinner tires for this one. It has a full suspension. It can come with an engine with the 8000 series Shimano steps. So this is our latest stuff. It shows also a bit. We have done some refinements on the seat, so we don't have so steep angle here in the shoulder part. It's a bit different mesh for the seat. We will have a bit different one for the next year as well.
Okay, Hansa, and I know that AZUB has moved into a new facility in the Czech Republic, and can you tell us a little bit about how that's going?
It's a big step for us. We have a new house, which is basically 2 times bigger as what we had before. So we can now focus on streamlining the production, improving all the internal stuff, which are not so much visible, but all the little things can be improved now. All the customer service, packaging. We are living in more comfortable place most of our lives now. So
right, that's right, and it's more efficient. I mean, is what you're really talking about.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, congratulations on that, and it's always great to see you, Hansa.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you very much.
We're here with Marshall from Trike, and we're going to talk about a couple of trikes with some new features and a new idea of approaching charity, I think. So let's start right here with this one, Marshall. What do we have?
So yeah, what we have here is the Rambler AT, and we did launch that this year. We had a prior model that was called the Rambler All-Road, but the AT, we put a special paint scheme on it and some matching spokes to tie into the decals and things, so graphic package-wise looks really, really awesome. The other thing that this trike really represents is this new movement in adventure cycling. So the ability to pack up, maybe do a day trip or even a multi-day trip. So gravel roads, mixed trail use, this thing is very capable of handling all those situations. You'll notice on the back of the trike a full package from our storage solution. So it'll carry panniers and specially made packs to carry everything from your tents to your cameras and whatnot. Things that are expandable, things that have rain covers on them. Really, really nice collection of bags.
Typical configuration, Marshall, of this with the bags for doing that adventure touring. What kind of price range you talk about? For
so literally, you could spend anywhere from $2,500, down to $2,000 is going to give you a complete package.
Okay, what about this pink trike here? What's this about?
So this is one that we're really, really excited about. This is a special edition Gran Turismo. This is a trike that we released at the very beginning of October, and a portion of the proceeds are going to go to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So hence the very special pink color, pink flag. And again, it is a special edition. There's only 50 of these out there. So if you want one, you're going to have to move quickly because they're going fast. I think almost all of them are at dealers at this time.
Okay, so get to the dealers if you're interested in one of those right away.
Yeah.
Okay, Marshall, thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Bye-bye. We are here with Rakesh at Falco Motors, and we're going to talk about some of the latest developments that you guys have. Hello, nice to see you again, Rakesh.
Hi, Gary, nice to see you as well.
All right, so this would be considered somewhat of a standard setup. So tell us a little bit about what this is.
Yeah, so Gary, I'm going to point to
yes,
here as we talk about. So we have, we have one motor, which goes with about 5 kind of our batteries. We have 5 batteries, 1 motor, 1 console, and then a throttle, right? So the way we are able to do wheel sizes from 16-inch up, we can do 16-inch, 20-inch, 26, 24, 700C, etc.
Okay.
So this here particular setup is 20-inch. 20-inch, you can see how the wheel is built. We supply full wheel, right? Fully without the tube and tire. We supply a full wheel. It's easy to install in a trike. And also batteries are pretty easy to mount on a trike. We use TerraCycle mounts for most of our batteries. So it's pretty straightforward to mount the batteries. And then also it is quite straightforward to be able to mount the monitor, the console, and we also have a throttle here, as you can see. So that's basically the configuration. Now in this particular configuration, we have got 2 batteries. So this is a 750 watt motor. It can take up to 11 speed cassette. And the battery here is 48 volt 500 watt hour battery.
Okay.
So 48 volt 500 watt hour here, 48 volt 500 watt hour here. So that is set up for a long commute. This will give you approximately 160 mile of range with the 2 batteries.
Let's talk a little bit about the sensoring system in this. What do we have with the sensors? How's that work?
So we have got in the hub today, there are about 16 sensors. And the most important for the cycling is the torque sensors and the speed sensors. All of them are inside the hub, right? So what it allows us to do is we want to have as natural of an experience as possible when you're cycling. We don't want to overpower. We want to give power when it is most needed. We want to give power also naturally so that it feels like you are really cycling and you're not motorcycling, right? So that has been the goal all along with our technology. We have a unique motor technology, 5-phase, which allows for 0 freewheeling resistance. So when you run out of power, you can still pedal it, and you don't feel the motor. So that has been our goal all along. Our mission has been to integrate the technology with cycling so that you feel natural while you're riding it.
Rakesh, can you tell us a little bit about the controlling system on this?
Sure. So we have, on this one here, we call it a wireless console. So it comes with, basically you have a screen, LCD screen and plus minus, right? There is no wire running from here back to the motor, right? So it is linked. So you see the numbers on here. So on the top, it shows you battery voltage, right? Basically, it's showing 53 volts. That's the battery voltage which is coming out. It's able to read it.
Okay.
And then you have assist level. Right now, it's a 0 assist level. That means the motor will not provide you power. But you can change the assist level from 0 all the way to +5. +5 means the motor delivers a lot of power, right? +1 means motor delivers less power.
Slight amount of power, yeah, okay.
And then we also have something called negative modes. The negative modes allow you to actually put the energy back into the battery, right?
It's called the regenerative mode.
Yeah, it's called the regenerative mode. Some people call it recovery mode, where if you're going down the hill, you're able to put the energy back into the battery, or you can also control your descent. So you're not just speeding down the hill, you can actually go to -1, -2, -5.
You get some resistance, and that'll slow you down.
That's right.
That's brilliant.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So, and then we have, you can see it shows you speed here in miles per hour, and then it shows you here on here how much distance, odometer is at the bottom of it. This is the throttle. So this allows you to have power on demand. The motor will do the work. You just sit down, you don't have to pedal, you push this, and motor will start pushing you forward.
What kind of money would the consumer be looking at?
So our system started around $1,700, and they go all the way up to $2,300 with a single battery. Additional batteries range from $700 to $1,000.
So we have another trike here with a little bit different configuration of your system. Tell us about this.
So this here is what we call it a E5.3 system. So this one is same motor, but it uses a 36-volt round battery, which we call Li3 battery. Li stands for lithium, so lithium-3, we use kind of odd numbers. So Li3 battery, so we have got same 750-watt motor, different battery, and you can see it looks pretty attractive here. So this is on a Catrike 559. So Catrike 559 is a different trike, so we use slightly different configuration, right? We have got additional hardware here to stabilize the axle. We call these torque arms. So this is an important addition. We need, most of the trikes need additional hardware, right?
Okay.
So that's our goal. And then you can see here is a TerraCycle mount, and you can see here the battery is mounted. This is the charging port for the battery. Here we can basically pull it up and charge the battery here. The battery has got indicator how much charge is left as well. We also are able to see from the console as well, as well as from the battery how much charge is left.
Now you have a new development at Falco Motors, something quite different and new. I was wondering if you could tell us about what this is.
So Gary, this is, Falco has a number of firsts in the e-bike industry, right? And again, here also is one of very new development. We are the first company in the world to be able to do this. Is we are able to convert your trike into a world-class fitness trainer, right? With integrated power trainer. So we're going to talk about how we do it. And what are the additional benefits we are able to provide to the consumer with this technology. So this is what we call world's first indoor-outdoor e-drive. So here what we have is what is a standard F7.9 system. We have 750-watt motor here in a 20-inch wheel. And then we have got our Li9 battery here, down here. Li9 battery, which is essentially gives you 700 watt-hour of power. Right? Okay. So I can sit in here and I can connect to a virtual software. So we can connect, an example software is called Zwift, right? So Zwift is a software which allows you to basically enter a virtual world and connect with racers or riders around the world, right? Okay. So we are able to, the motor becomes more of a power trainer, it becomes more of a road simulator. So for example, if you're going up the hill in the virtual world, the motor will become stiffer to pedal, right? And if you're going down the hill, the motor will become easier to pedal, right? So you're basically bringing the outdoors indoors on this setup. Now it is set up on a roller. There is no string attaching the roller, so there is no resistance being offered by the rollers itself. All the resistance is coming from inside the motor. So Gary, we have got this monitor connected to Microsoft Surface Pro, which is here at the back, and we have connected it to this monitor just to be able to amplify the image. And here the motor now is connected. We have got what is called an ANT Plus connection. So this is coming from my Microsoft Surface Pro, and this is communicating with the motor, right? So now we are connected to the Zwift. This basically, you can see on the Zwift here, I can see my watts, and my RPM. And if I have my heart rate monitor, I will be able to see my heart rate too.
Okay.
So what I can do is when I sit in here, I'm able to actually see my cadence here and my power I'm generating, and I can use that to charge my batteries.
So now we'll get a little demo here of the system. Rakesh is sitting on the trike, pumping away. Tell us what we're seeing.
So Gary, this is now the guy who is now in the screen. That's me in the virtual world. And I'm motor simulating about 5% grade. You can see on the top right-hand side, it's saying the grade, 5% grade. Mm-hmm. You can see on the top left-hand side, I'm generating about 33 watts of power, and my cadence is about 50 RPM or 46 RPM, all right? So if I go faster, you can see the guy goes faster, I can generate more power, I can have more RPM. So I am in control of my fitness. I'm able to, if I want to pedal slow, I can do that. The resistance is very smooth. It is not choppy, it is not unnatural. It is as if you're riding outside.
So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Rakesh and eFalco Motors for being a patron sponsor for the Laidback Bike Report here at Recumbent Cycle-Con this year. We appreciate their support. It's not the first time. Rakesh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gary. I really appreciate what you guys do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are here with our pal Randy Ridings, who has graciously decided to spend a little time with his quad yak in our booth here at Cycle-Con. Hello, Randy.
Hi, Gary.
It's been great having you here this weekend with us. So much to talk about. Tell us how it's gone for you, first of all.
It's been really fun. I really didn't think I would be talking to as many people as I did, but I've been swamped.
Swamped. That's the first quad jack joke of the day. All right, go ahead.
But I paddled through it. Sorry, we got to quit that. No, it's been great. Talked to a lot of people. People who come up, and so many people, even vendors, come up going, "Hey, I've been following you on Facebook," which was what really is surprising, is how many people have heard about the craft and me and the trip I've been taking, and that's been really great, talking to people and then educating new people about it, talking to new people about it.
All right, let's take just a second for the 3 people out there who don't know what this is about. This is an amphibious vehicle that was built by Randy, and so give us the elevator speech about what this is about and what you've done.
So yes, a human-powered amphibious vehicle built by my father and myself about 5 years ago. I've put total 6,000 miles on it, but this summer I started a coast-to-coast trip. I got through about 2/3 of it, about 2,400 miles this summer in about 80 days. I got the last third to finish, which I'll be doing in bits and pieces now because of scheduling stuff, and then finishing up next summer. I did about 2,000 miles on roads and trails, and about 400 miles in the water, but the next bit's going to be more water than land as I'm going down the Arkansas River, the Mississippi River, the Pascagoula River to get to the Gulf.
Nobody does this. I don't know how you do it, but this is the most amazing contraption you guys have ever seen. If you want to know more about the backstory of this, we had a very in-depth interview with Randy back in January of this year on the Laidback Bike Report, so I hope you guys will look that up and take another look. And his Facebook, we're going to have in the description below his page, so you guys can check him out more directly as well. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Randy, for coming and sharing your time with us.
Well, thanks for inviting me, and thanks for having me in your booth. It has been a blast, just seeing all this cool stuff. This is the first Recumbent Cycle-Con I've been to, and it's been great.
Yeah, it's been great having you. Thanks a lot. David is shaking up the box with the entries in it. Look at that. He's on his way, Dave.
Awesome.
Is there an update on Chuck? He's coming. Chuck is on his way. He'll be here shortly. Chuck should be here any minute now. We see him?
No.
Is there a sighting? Ah!
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to the show this weekend and making the 2018 Recumbent Cycle Convention such a great success. Appreciate all the vendors who were here this year. Thank you. appreciate all the vendors that came and all the exhibitors that came and all the dealers that came. It's a real important and a fun event for everyone, I hope. And appreciate HP Velotechnik for stepping up and really giving away a very nice prize, a HP Gekko 26. And so without any further ado, good rhythm. I won't even look. The winner is Charles Coyne. What a coincidence. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you. The winner is, the real winner is, Scott Barrows. Come on up.
There's only 3 of them in there without his name on it.
Appreciate you making the drive all the way down, and hope that that's going to be a nice souvenir for you. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There you go.
Dan Zimmerman!
Yep. I was told by my doctors, wheelchair for life and no talking. And I proved them wrong. But I listened to my doctors for long years and gained weight, only exercise in, so I desperately wanted to go outside and not people pushing me wheelchair, and found this. Yeah.
Okay, so this is Dan Zimmerman, folks. He's renowned in the recumbent community and started an interesting organization that I think we can maybe talk about for a minute. Dan, how are you?
Fine. Good to actually here in Cycle-Con. Oh,
yeah. This is your first opportunity here, and you had a chance to speak to folks and inspire them like you do all over the country, I know. So, can you tell us a little bit about the beginnings of Spokes Fighting Strokes?
I started riding, and people noticed me talking, trying to talk. 4 years silent, and 1 year on the trike brought me back to speaking.
Right. So the benefits to stroke survivors of riding trikes and exercise in general is what your organization is all about.
Yes. Think pumping my blood to my brain, oxygenated, solved everything. Not everything, but I use my hands or, legs, walk around, talking. No.
Right. And so how many people do you think that you have influenced over? You've been doing this for maybe 3 years? Or
4 years.
4 years. I know. I've been following you. So how many people have you been in contact with, would you say?
500. 5 stroke survivors out of the wheelchairs. 2 years teaching them.
Right, and you go from one city to another, and you talk at, where do you talk? I know there's...
Well, Hostel and Denver, in Colorado Springs, Longmont in Colorado. My home base is Arizona.
Right, I know that. And so these are like hospital venues?
Labs,
hospital rehabs for stroke survivors, and you gather groups there and talk to them about what you do and how they could improve their lives as well.
And I offer 20 Trikes free. Ride with me 1 hour or 2 hours each day, and improvements.
Who is? Have there been is there a manufacturer that's helped you out with this?
Catrike and Greenspeed and AZUB, awesome people.
And you've gotten a lot of support from those guys, and well-deserved as well. So, all right, so let's get to the bottom line here. If there are stroke survivors out there that are watching us right now, I know they want to be in contact with you and you with them. What's the best way to do that, Dan?
Fightingstrokes.org.
All right, and they can contact you there and find out what it's all about and hopefully improve their lives as well. Dan, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I followed you, like I said, for a long time. I'm really honored to meet you and share a booth right next door to you.
Thank you.
We are here at the HASE booth with Anya. How you doing, Anya?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So we're going to talk about this particularly moist trike. It's been raining here at Cycle-Con, and everybody's been riding the HASE bikes. Tell us what we have here.
So what you see right here is the new HASE Trigo. This is the version with the underseat steering. We also have one with the handlebar up, like a little bit easy rider style. And this one we equipped with the Shimano Steps motor. So you can retrofit any of the Trigos with a motor, with a basket, with fenders, anything you want, light. They come with the flag. Got to have that. And you're right, today they were riding like crazy. Everybody's trying this bike out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to slow anybody down as far as test rides go. All right, so the folks can go to their local Recumbent bike dealers and take a look at these if they like. What is this configuration going to cost them if they're out there?
The retail on this trike is about $5,200, including the battery and the motor setup.
Okay, and HASE makes like really robust, strong products. It's something that's going to hold up for you guys. So I encourage you to take a look at HASE Bikes. Anya, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Jim Parker with Cruzbike, saying hi to all our friends at the Laidback Bike Report. We are here in beautiful White Lake, North Carolina. We're really sorry we couldn't make the Recumbent convention this year in Tennessee. This is the first time we've missed it, but we had this beautiful place booked before we heard about the dates for the convention. I'm going to turn it over to Maria to tell you about all our great Cruzbike models.
2018 has been a great year for Cruzbike. We released 2 new models, and I'm going to talk about that. But I want to start with our T50. This is our cruiser. This one famously was launched on Kickstarter. We had a great Kickstarter. It's a terrific bike. It's a very affordable bike. You can just buy the frame set and put your own components on it, or you can buy the very affordable complete build, and it's been selling really well. It's a great way to get into cruise bike. The next bike is our Q45. We launched it hugely successfully this year. In fact, we're on our 2nd run already. The Q45 has got a new front end, very similar to our performance bikes. It's got suspension. It's great for endurance and adventure travel. It's got an incredible 1x system here, which is very low maintenance. It's great for touring. You can put stuff on the back. We also have a rack for underneath, and it's great for packed gravel. In fact, I hope to take it on the C&O Canal Trails one day. It's been a terrific seller for us. This is our S40. We launched it just a few weeks ago. It's been a hugely successful launch. It's got a few changes from the last version of the S40. One of the most notable changes is the beautiful new sort of matte finish. It's just this gray bike is just gorgeous. It comes with a slightly larger fork. The full build is a 1x system that's high quality, low maintenance. The wheels are tubeless ready. The bike also has places for an underseat rack and a custom rack for behind the seat. This bike is fabulous for endurance road touring. It's also a very social bike. It's the bike to ride with your roadie friends. My friends love it when I bring this bike out because it's a very compatible bike with other fast road bikes. So it's been a terrific bike for us, and we're really excited about it. So this is our famous Vendetta V20. This particular bike was brought to the ride retreat by our customers, and he bought the frame set and built it up with electronic shifting. This is a DI2 system, beautiful, shifts really well on our bike. It's got the 20-degree seat back angle. It's screaming fast. This is the bike if you just want to set records, if you want to race, or if you want to go a long way, race a long way. This is the bike for you because it's extremely comfortable and yet very aerodynamic and fast. He has it set up with our performance adjustable headrest, which is a terrific accessory that we just launched, and this allows you to get your head in the right place. You can move this fore and aft and up and down and in and out, so everybody's head is just the right place. He's got it built with disc brakes. You can also use rim brakes. We sell a complete build that's a little bit different specs, but it's a great thing. Or you can just buy the frame set and build the perfect speed race bike for you. We've had an incredible year at Cruzbike. 2018 has been just a great year, but stay tuned because we've got some exciting things coming down the line for the end of this year and maybe early next year. So go to our website, sign up for our emails.
All right, see you next year.
We are here with Andrew from Trailside.bike, and Andrew, one of our biggest supporters, longest supporters. We really always appreciate what you've done for us, Andrew. Thanks for that, first of all. He's also a patron sponsor here at Recumbent Cycle-Con and has helped us out here. So let's talk a little bit about Trailside.bike. What is going on there in the last year since we've talked?
Sure. So we've expanded our selection. So we've tried to have basically more makes and models than anyone in the Southeast so that folks can come from all around Florida and afar and try all the different types of candy.
Yeah, and that's what it is, isn't it? It's eye candy and riding candy, isn't it?
Also, I'd like to thank you, Gary, for the outreach you do to let people know about the sport.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's be clear also about where Trailside.bike is. So it is in Florida on the Withlacoochee Trail.
Yes.
And Floral City, actually,
yes.
Right?
Our largest city next would be Inverness, as in Inverness, Scotland. And you have Orlando, Tampa, and the intersection right there.
So tell me what you would offer someone who wants to come and check out a trike or a bike at Trailside. How does that work?
So someone would walk in, and first thing we want to know is how can we make you comfortable? That's our biggest goal. Is we want to get people out and do low aerobic exercise. Mm-hmm. In the 80s, people would say no pain, no gain. I disagree. I say the gains we want you to have, and we'll have no pain or little pain.
They don't have to be accompanied by pain, do they?
Not at all.
Not at all. All right. And so they'll come in and they can check out the trikes, and then you have like one of the best locations to try. It's not just riding around the parking lot. What can they do?
No, not at all. So we have 40+ miles of greenway that's a good 15 feet wide, and you can ride and not have to worry at all about cars or other people, and you can enjoy nature, see everything from a crocodile to, who knows, maybe a black panther.
Right, and that's probably exactly what people are looking for. Anyways, yeah, it's comfortable and it's usually safe, and I'm sure you'll have a great time if you come and see Andrew and his crew at Trailside.bike there on the Withlacoochee Trail. So with that, I think we're going to say thanks again, and we appreciate your support as always, Andrew.
Likewise.
Thanks. We're coming to the conclusion of another Recumbent Cycle-Con, I think a particularly successful one. We're going to find out the details about that right now. Chuck Coyne, the owner of the show, is with me. And Chuck, I'm going to tell you from my standpoint, this was a fantastic show with great attendance, great exhibitors, and just seemed to be an excitement in the room. So I want to know from your standpoint, how did it go?
Well, I'll let you hold the microphone. It went very well. I think this was our best attended in terms of dealers attending, certainly in terms of consumers and enthusiasts attending. We had a lot of fun with the recumbent bike races out on the track here. A lot of people enjoyed that. We had a good demo track arena this year. It was nice and long and wide, so that worked out really well. We had, got to honor one of our own, Bryan Ball, for being the Recumbent Industry Recognition Award for the year presented by Recumbent and Tandem Rider magazine. And so just appreciate the industry's support for the show, and we'll be right here at the Fairgrounds Nashville in 2019.
Yeah, a great venue, a great success this year, as we mentioned. And I think to top it off, knowing we're coming back here again next year is just like the icing on the cake.
And it will be the same weekend. It'll be October 11, 12, 13 next year.
All right. So, Chuck, thank you so much for putting all this on and for all the great support you've given the Laidback Bike Report right from the start.
Well, and thank you for all your support from the Laidback Bike Report, Gary. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
All right, folks, I guess that's about a wrap for the Laidback Bike Report here at Recumbent Cycle-Con 2018. What a fantastic show it's been. We've met so many people. The viewers have come by to thank us. We've had a great time with all the exhibitors and learned so much about what they're producing. So we appreciate you watching. We hope you've enjoyed this show as much as we have. So I also want to thank at this point my amazing crew, and they are Randy Ridings,
Lisa Burgoyne,
Trey Burgoyne,
Doug Davis,
Marilyn Solomon,
and I'm Gary Solomon. Thank you so much, Bent Riders, for watching. So long for now. Wait, check this out. Connecticut Yankee Peddlers.
No S.
That's what I did last time.
Are we done now?
No, we're just starting, Mel. Oh, hey, folks. We are with Mel Berger, the owner, operator, and chief honcho at Recumbent PDX.
Owner, not chief honcho.
Mel, describe your position and the operation you're running, or whoever is running it.
I am owned by the owner.
Okay, come on. Got places to be.
This guy's from Hollywood, so like
yes,
he
everybody
really
around
knows
here
about
drives too slow.
Is that the difference?
Yes, we had a prototype last year. This is our X7. Now we have the production ones here, so people can have a good ride and know exactly what they'll get if they buy one.
Tell me about some of the, Sir? Sorry. We are here with Rod Gentry at the Performer Booth.
It is.
No, it was Bruth.
It's a Bruth.
We are... He heard it better than anybody.
And we have cutouts in this,
yeah,
right? That's
this
cool.
is not like the live show.
Do you want some privacy while you do that, Gary?
No, I'm all right.
All right. He's all right. Okay.
It's nice. Okay. Let's... This lady loves it right here, actually, so it's fine. We're here at the Trident Trikes booth with our friends Rudy and... Because I didn't do that. All right, folks, so obviously we've reset here to talk about some other things, but we wanted to finish up with the... Okay, David, and so the new colors and decals, when's that going to be available exactly?
That's available right now, Gary.
What did you say was 2019? You said something was 2019, did I?
Yeah, but it's...
This is the 2019 years here.
Yeah, okay, let's try it again, okay.
Honestly, we probably... Okay, and we may never get this finished.
Also, all gentlemen, apologize for the inconvenience, but one of the restroom facilities is broken. It's the center one. Please do not use it.
Don't go there. All right, we're here with Tommy at a brand new exhibitor here at Recumbent Cycle-Con, OUTRIDER. Is that right?
OUTRIDER.
See, even the hair.
Does he buy any trikes from you guys?
Oh, Lord, yes.
Not anymore.
That's gone.
That is gone after I tell. Oh, and at the end, we need to all wave goodbye, right?
Okay.
Randy Ridings.
Lisa Burgoyne.
Trey Burgoyne.
Doug Davis.
Marilyn Solomon.
And those folks